Hey guys, what's going on? It's Blayde again from Car Audio Security. Today we're looking at a brand new range of amplifiers from Alpine, the S2 range. Welcome back. Make sure you hit that subscribe button first of all. Now, let's get on with it. So, amplifiers. An amplifier is essential for a good quality aftermarket audio system, and Alpine are some of the best producers of these. Now we have a range of their brand new S2 range, which is successor to the S range. They have 4 amplifiers here, which start from a small monoblock, a 4-channel, a 5-channel, and a larger monoblock. So we're going to do the usual thing of going through the text and specs, pricing and stuff like that. So we're going to start off with the small monoblock first. So first of all, we have the Alpine S2 A60M. So this is their kind of entry-level monoblock amplifier designed for subwoofers. Power rating on this amplifier is 330 watts RMS at 4 ohm and 600 watts RMS at 2 and 1 ohms. So if you have a subwoofer that can play either 4 or 1 ohms, you need a little bit more of a kick, then you can go for that 1 ohm power rating. So for an amplifier of this kind of size to be able to play 1 ohm is pretty good. And talking of its size, it is pretty small, to be fair. I mean, it's the size of my hand in comparison. So on one side of the amplifier, you have all of your power inputs and speaker outputs for your subwoofer, and then you have your fuses. And then on this side, you have all of your RCA inputs and you have your controls. So you have your input level switch here. So this amplifier can actually take high level speaker signal in or low level RCA inputs. You can also switch the high level remote turn on to be signal sensing or physical 12 volt remote signal. So that's a good little feature there. You have your gain, low pass filter and bass EQ controls here. And you have the input ability for a bass controller, which I believe is a Rux Knob 2 is the part number you'll need for that. We'll pop that on the screen now. So if you're looking for a good quality compact digital amplifier by a very renowned brand, this will be a very good option for you, the S2 A60M. Right, let's get on to the next one. This is the S2 A36F. This is their very small, very compact, but very powerful 4-channel amplifier. So this will be a very good pair to the A60M as it's exactly the same size, but still also very good power output. So this is going to give you 60 watts of RMS power to all 4 channels if you're running 4 ohm and 90 watts RMS if you're running them at 2 ohm. So the same as what's on the other amplifiers, you have your power inputs here, you have your speaker outputs here and your fuse. On this side, you have your RCA inputs. Plenty of controls here to set crossovers, filters, all of the gain controls, high pass, low pass, all of that stuff. And again, you have the ability to run high level or low level input into this amplifier. So it's very good. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, which is a feature on all of these amplifiers, is the little blue display here. So when the amplifier is lit up, you do get a little blue LED that lights up here. It does look quite nice and all turned on. And also, you may be thinking with these amplifiers, what's with the weird end bits? Now, you do get caps with these if you've fitted an amplifier from Alpine before. Very common to have caps and little plates that sit on top. So it's not really any different with these. We have these little caps. So these sit on the amplifier ends, like so, if I can do it. Obviously, these do screw down. Around, and then the amplifier ends up looking a bit more like that. So it finishes off quite nicely. They are just plastic caps, but it just means that if you drop it, you're not going to break it or bend it or anything like that. So let's drop these back down here. So if you're looking for a good quality 4-channel amplifier to pair with the monoblock that you've just bought, then this is definitely a shout. Obviously, you don't have to buy a monoblock with it. You can run this on its own, not a problem there, but these will look very nice next to each other in the boot or wherever you're going to fit them because they're exactly the same size. You can even stack them if you wanted to or have them in a display piece. So these would work really, really nicely. Now, on to the next one. Now we're on to the big stuff. This is the S2 A55V. This is their 5-channel amplifier. So basically an all-in-one amplifier, so you can disregard the 4-channel and the monoblock, and this will do everything for you. Now, going down this route makes life a lot easier in terms of installation, and it's a bit cleaner to install it, but you do sacrifice a little bit in output. So in terms of the output power on this, you have 4 channels at 40 watts RMS at 4 ohm, and your output for the subwoofer at 4 ohm is 200. Now, you do also have the ability to run both at 2 ohm, so the 4-channel output is 60 watts RMS, and the mono output for your subwoofer at 2 ohms is 300. So as I said, you do sacrifice a little bit in power, but it does save a lot of time and energy trying to run 2 power cables to these and all the speaker cables and stuff to different amplifiers. Makes life a lot easier, it all being in one place. Now, again, with this amplifier, you have all the power inputs on this side with all the speaker outputs here. Now, rather than being right next to each other, as in a row for the speaker cables, you have one stacked on top of each other. So you have front left, front right, rear right, sub. And then you have your fuses. On the other side, again, you have your RCA inputs and all of the controls. Now, obviously, because this controls quite a lot, you do have quite a lot of controls on here, but it's quite clearly labeled for you so you can see what's going on, what you need to adjust. And again, you have that switch over there if you're running high level or low level inputs. And again, with this particular amplifier, because it does have a sub channel, you do have the ability to add the bass controller, the Rux knob 2, to control just the subwoofer. Now, if you're bridging any channels or you're using that subwoofer channel for bridging, that will not work. But if you're obviously just using it for your subwoofer, that will be fine. Now, in terms of size, this is not a big 5-channel amp by any means. It's not tiny, but it's probably the size of the 4-channel plus half of the 4-channel. So like I said, it's not huge. Now, one thing I forgot to mention actually on the 4-channel as well as this 5-channel, because this is for speakers, this is actually high-res certified, this and the 4-channel. Because this has the ability to have a frequency response of up to 40 kilohertz, you have that high-res certified stamp on there. That's why the 2 subwoofer amplifiers don't have that, because you don't have a frequency response that high for a subwoofer. You never get that high with a subwoofer. But the high-res certified stamp that you see on a lot of high-quality products means that this has the ability to play up to 40,000 hertz. Obviously, you may not have a speaker and you may not be able to hear that high, but that's what that means essentially. So, on to the next one. Now, lastly, we have the S2 A10M. This is their big boy monoblock amplifier for big power applications. So this can handle up to 1,200 watts RMS of power output, which is more than enough for most people, to be honest. Because of that, you'll be able to run 2, 3, maybe 4 subwoofers on this monoblock amplifier. Not to say you can't do that on the first one we looked at, but you're probably going to struggle to keep up with the power requirements of all of those subwoofers. So the actual RMS figures are as follows. 4 ohm, you get 600 watts RMS. At 2 ohm and 1 ohm, you get 1200 watts RMS. But yeah, this gives you really, really good power. And because it is so powerful, it is quite large. So it is bigger than that 5-channel we just looked at, but not by a huge margin. I would say it is 2 of the 4 channels next to each other. That's probably about the right size. Now again, we have your power inputs on this side, your speaker outputs on this side, and your fuses. You'll notice there's quite a few fuses in here. There is 4 25 amp fuses, so that's 100 amps in total. So this bad boy draws a lot of power. The other side, again, you have your controls. Because this is just a monoblock amplifier for a subwoofer, you don't have loads of controls. You've just got your gain, your frequency control, and your bass EQ. Again, you have the ability to add the control for the subwoofer and your RCA inputs and outputs. And again, you have low level and high level switchable control there. So if you're looking for a very good quality amplifier that's going to give you plenty of power for multiple subwoofers or one big subwoofer, this is going to do the job for you. 1200 watts is plenty for most people. Again, you've got that really nice blue LED and that brushed black aluminium faceplate, and then the nice shiny Alpine logo that you have on all of these. So these all match really, really nicely. Now, one last thing to mention. All of these amplifiers here come with a berth sheet. Now this is a really, really good thing to see in these amplifiers. Alpine used to do this a little while ago with their higher range amplifiers. They didn't really do it so much with their entry level and mid range, but all of the S2 range come with berth sheets, which again is really, really good to see. What this means to you is you're going to get a sheet from the manufacturer where they've bench tested the actual RMS output, so you know they're not lying about the output. So I actually have one here. Now this comes with the instructions. This actually tells you the tested output. So if we have a look on here, this is for the big monoblock amplifier. You have a sheet here which tells you, so load impedance is 2 ohms. Now remember, this is supposed to be 1200 watts RMS at that impedance. 14.4 volts, the actual RMS bench tested power is 1339. So you're getting over 100 watts more than you're actually paying for. So they're definitely not lying to you about power output. It's definitely a good thing to see. And there we have it. This was the range of the brand new Alpine S2 Class D digital amplifiers, starting from their smallest digital monoblock amplifier, going up to their biggest digital monoblock amplifier, and then you've got the 5-channel and the 4-channel in between. Now, as I've said, the 5-channel and the 4-channel are high-res certified, as they are able to play up to 40,000 hertz. But going back to the amps, they are a beautiful finish. I really like the brushed aluminium faces on them and the little LED indicator on the top. One thing to notice on the LED actually is it's not just a power light, it is actually an indicator as well. It will tell you if there's a problem in the system. And with the finish, it's a beautiful finish, don't get me wrong, but just be wary. They are a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but they're pretty easy to wipe down and clean them off anyway. Now onto pricing. Now, as of today's filming, price-wise, these amplifiers are $329.99 for the A60M monoblock, $329.99 for the 4-channel, $449 for the 5-channel, and $499 for the big monoblock. So not ridiculously priced, good quality. Obviously it's the Alpine name, so you know they're going to last a long time, and you're paying for a good quality brand. So guys, we'll leave it there. That was the Alpine S2 range. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.